Welcome to another episode of Courageous Me. And today we have got this gorgeous woman, Varsha, joining us. Now, I've only met Varsha online once or twice. I had phone calls with her. So, guess what? We're going to get to know her together, which is so exciting. She's the founder of a group called Real Estate for Women. And the reason I know her is through introductions. I'm going to be joining her at that session running a little event. So, very, very excited. I know she's got a beautiful story of courage to share with us. So, on that note, Varsha, so excited you're here. Before we get into it and know a bit more about who you are, could you share what excites you to have a conversation with me today about courage?
Thank you, Kim. Firstly, I feel lucky to be, speaking to you. I know we have spoken on phone, so thank you so much for this opportunity. And yeah, I'm a bit nervous because this is my first podcast. I've never done it, so I'm really excited. And especially you said courage, so I think that's been my driving force throughout my journey. And it's not just about, taking bold decision or action. It's all about, driving through, navigating through all those fears, being persistent. And I think I've got a lot to share, but I'm a bit nervous because, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to say, but we'll go with the flow. But yeah, I'm really excited to talk about courage, and hopefully even if I can inspire one person, I will be really, really happy.
Do you know, that is such a common theme where people say, if this just impacts one other person, then I feel like it's all been worth it. And thank you for sharing that you are nervous, because most people, if this is not something you do on a regular basis, it is nerve wracking. And it's really easy to come up with excuses not to do it. But here you are, we're doing it, and you got to start somewhere, right? So I'm just delighted that you're starting here with me. So, on that note, can you just give us a little bit about who you are? And then can you reach in and share with us, where is a moment where you had to find courage? And I don't care how far back you go in any area of your life, but where did courage really show up for the first time that you can remember?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Kim. So firstly, I work in IT full time. I'm a project manager, and I wear different hats as well on top of my IT job. I'm a single mom, and my side hustles include DJing, hosting events. I bring DJs from India, Canada, US, overseas, and I do their tours in Australia. So I have an event company that I run. And just recently, I have ventured into real estate as well. And I'm working with a top investment company that has really transformed my life this year and have given me a purpose, something I was looking for. So, in the nutshell, yeah, like I wear different hats and I love what I'm doing. I'm pursuing my passion, and I have found courage in different ways, like throughout my journey, which, yeah, I'm happy to share today, Kim.
Yeah, and I love this. You're in IT and project management and a DJ and follow DJs and run events. Now real estate. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to get into this journey. So when's one of the first times, go back as far as you can, when you really had to reach in and find some courage?
I would say, Kim, I went through a really tough separation and divorce that included court case. So it was quite emotional, draining, and yeah, I had to really find courage in that journey to stand up to my grounds and fight for myself, my son, because yeah, I don't want to go into nitty-gritties, but obviously, like every divorce case for women, it's quite emotionally draining, and especially finance. So I was losing a lot of my money, and I wanted to start fresh, and I was completely dependent on that person, emotionally, physically, everything. I was like completely dependent on him. So I didn't know how to start, where to start, how to stand up and, do what I want to do, because I wanted to grow, obviously, in my career, in my profession, in my passion. So I was courageous. I fought for it. I came out of it. It was draining. It did damage me a lot, but I'm not the person who will just shed tears. I get up, I fight, and I follow my dreams. So that has been a really, really difficult time for me to, get started and take my journey. And I'm proud of, my achievements right now. So yeah.
That's beautiful. How long ago was this? Like when was the divorce, can I ask? How long ago?
2 years ago.
Oh, so it's not that long ago.
No. Yeah.
Wow. And so and I just want to explore this a little bit further and only share what you're comfortable sharing. But you were saying you were dependent on him financially and emotionally and all of that. So why did you leave? Like, again, I don't know what caused it or anything like that, but did you have a choice or was this something you instigated?
Yeah. So he gave me two options. First option, the option was to leave my passion, DJing. I can't do any events. I can't go out and play music because he was insecure that, I'm going out, I'm in the glamour world. And yeah, it was his insecurity that he wanted me to shut down my whole business and my passion. Secondly, he didn't want me to grow. Like I have been always ambitious. Like I want to do multiple things and I want to learn new things and I love challenges and I want to obviously keep growing. I do businesses, etc. And he had no vision, he had no goals, no ambition. Yeah, all he wanted was music, sex, and that's all. And I was just not happy. So I had the choice, and I actually it was quite difficult for me because I was so dependent on him emotionally that I actually told him, okay, I'll leave everything. And can we reconcile because he moved out and yeah, I just couldn't survive for a few months. So I told him, okay, I'm happy to leave everything. Just don't leave me. I'm happy to do whatever you want me to do. But then we had another aspect as well. Like he started putting a lot of conditions, etc. Which I was like, no, I don't think you love me. If you want me to step down here, do this, do that. This is not love. And he wanted to sell our house, which was my dream house. So I actually had to sell that house and give him a lot of money because yeah, I earn more than him. So yeah, he was after my super and everything. But yeah, I had to make a choice to walk out of that relationship because I was suffocated and I realized, yeah, it's not love. It's purely, just conditional. And I took the decision to just, get out of that and follow my dreams basically.
And that's such a beautiful, I mean, what a hard decision you had to make to really pursue what was important to you, but then losing some of that emotional support or financial support that you were getting from him. But you still did it. And I'm assuming, how old was your son at this stage?
My son is okay. He is 14 now, so yeah, he was 12. So he's old enough. So that is why I'm blessed that he's not 4 or 3, where I would have struggled.
Yeah, so you've got a child in the mix as
Yes,
well. So this is
yeah,
not just a simple
yeah,
decision of two people dating,
yeah,
not finding or not feeling the love anymore and going separate ways. Like this is a really big decision.
yeah. And I
And
had
you
full
still did
support of
it.
my son, so I have got 100% custody of him. He doesn't go to him at all, and I had his full support that yep, this is the right decision.
Oh, well, what a role model that you are providing for him as well, to your son, about, the strength of women and go after what's important to you. And yeah, if anyone's going to hold you back from your dreams, particularly if it's a partner, then they're not the right partner. Like the the whole point about being in a partnership
Yeah,
with someone or a relationship
yeah, and I
is
was
that they
happy like.
support you.
Yeah, and I was okay. Like, if you don't want to do anything, it's fine, but let me follow my dreams. I want to grow. I mean, at least he could have supported if, he didn't want to do anything. So, yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow. What a beautiful introduction into who you are and what's going on. When you were growing up, were you always a strong woman?
Um, Not really. Well, there's another personal story of me. I don't know if I should share or not.
If you're comfortable, I'd love you to.
Okay. Well, so I was born with toxoplasmosis. It's something that affects your eye. So
Okay.
I've got scar on both of my retinas. So
Okay.
I've got poor vision
Yes.
and I get blurred vision. So I struggle. Like, I work in IT, it's all on screens.
Mm.
Then my real estate is all on screens. DJing is all on screens. So I struggle. But yeah, like I always struggled with my vision. And yeah, so yeah, my eye will actually, like it, because I've got very low vision, it gets squint as well sometime. So I
Mhm.
was looked down, I was bullied as well. So maybe yeah, there are some elements since my birth that made me a bit stronger, but I never came out openly and told anyone about this, Kim, until recently. I had my event in Sydney, Summit, and I was so emotional in that event because it was all women and we were gathered there to empower and inspire each other. That was the first time I was giving a speech at the event, and I don't know what happened to me, what struck in my head, and I shared this, that I have this problem, and I bursted in tears there because I've never shared with anyone. And it took a lot of courage because I always this was hidden within me. Like my parents know, of course, but
Mm.
I never. It was embarrassing for me to share with people about my eye issue. So that was the first time I actually came out in public that I have this eye issue.
Wow. Oh, that is remarkable. So you grew up with this and you said you were bullied. Like, did you have to wear glasses when you were growing up? Is
Yeah.
that, yeah, okay. And is that why you've never shared it? Because when you share it, what comes up for you is the experience as a childhood being bullied about it. Is that why you haven't shared
I
it?
don't know. I
Or
just felt it's embarrassing. I don't know. Maybe it's not, but for me, like it's like yeah, like I was born with some, disease, or why me? So I always, fought with myself, like why, like my brother, he's perfect. Why I ended up with this, and I struggled. If I was born with perfect eyes, I would have achieved a lot more. I feel weak from my eyes, but overall, I have so much energy and enthusiasm to do things. But yeah, because of my eyes, yeah, I just felt embarrassing to share with anyone.
yeah, that's interesting. And how do you feel now? So you've shared it at your first real estate for women event, which was only earlier this year,
Yeah,
and you're now sharing it on a podcast, which of course is public. How are you feeling about it?
I think it has relieved me. Like I feel more free. Like I was probably living with some something which has probably given me strength. Maybe I didn't realize. So it's not that bad. And yeah, I think I'm happy to, if to let this out. I've been hiding this. So yeah, I don't feel ashamed or anything because even in spite of this, I've done a lot, achieved a lot. So yeah, there's no point for me to think this as my weakness. Maybe it's my strength.
But often that is what it is, that it's in the shadows and the things that have gone wrong or the things that haven't gone
Yeah.
right in our lives where we actually find the most strength. And you even having the courage to share this, because honestly, when I look at you, I would never ever have known, right?
Yeah.
Where there's other people that have got impairments or something wrong, which is more obvious. Yours, I wouldn't have even known. But as you said, it was like an internal thing. It was something inside you
Yeah.
that created the weakness.
Yes.
And, like we don't all see that. So to share it, other people might think, well, it's your eyes. Like, gosh, I've got contact lenses. I can't see without contact lenses.
Yeah.
Um, but it doesn't matter because that's been something for you. And so when you were growing up and being bullied, and as you say, like that almost was like a weakness, but it was actually a strength. How has that shown up as a strength, do you think?
Because I guess I it made me stronger gradually, but obviously when it started to happen, I was shattered. I cried and I went to my parents, like, is there a solution? Can you get me fix this? But yeah, we went through a lot of doctors. Like, I'm getting emotional right now, so let's get on to another topic, Kim. But yeah, it made me stronger, I guess, day by day, and made me resilient, I guess, and made me the person who I am today.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I just see this big ball of strength and this woman who is just a force going out, doing what she loves, making decisions. So, just on the DJ side of it, did you always like music? Was that something that you were good at? Did you love it? Where does that come into it?
Yeah, so I always loved music and dancing. Uh,
Oh.
Music has been my passion, and yeah, like I used to go to nightclubs purely to listen to music. I know people go for several reasons, but for me, it was just to listen to the DJ, how they mix music. So I'm more into technical, like, how there is a controller, there is a gear, there are two decks, and how you sync and beat match and mix music. So I was more attracted to master that art, how you could mix music. You're playing one song over other and transitioning. So I wanted to master the technical side, coming from a IT background. But I had passion for music and dancing. I love dancing. That just liberates me and de-stresses me. And I did a crash course like 5 years, 6 years ago. I bunked my office. I told my boss actually that I'm doing a crash course. I didn't tell anyone at home. I did a crash course. I learned, and then I launched one ladies' night. No one knew me, and I sold tickets, 100 tickets, and no one knew me. And I was so happy that I could sell out an event, my first event. I just hired a venue, and that was amazing. And from then, I just started doing lots and lots of events. I launched my own event company. And again, even there, like, my eye thing, you know I have to play at nights because I'm going and playing at nightclubs, right? And I always had issue with vision, etc. But it's just the passion for music, that I'm listening music and mixing. I'm not actually seeing. So that helped me to even master DJing and play and make people dance.
Oh my God. So, firstly, my experience with nightclubs growing up had nothing to do with the music or the dancing. It was purely about the boys. And if I had to go to a nightclub to meet them, then so be it. What I'm finding most fascinating here, though, Varsha, is 5 years ago you did a crash course in DJing, and then, like most people would do the course and then think, okay, now I need to go out, get a bit of experience, etc. No, you go and host an event,
Yeah.
invite 100 people, sell out, uh, and just get it running, and then start an event company. Why did you do that? This is fascinating. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and Kim, this is a male dominated industry as well. There are not many women who host nightclub events, especially in my community, Indian community. I didn't know anyone. So I always love to break barrier and take those challenges. And it's not because I want to prove or make money, it's because of my passion.
Yeah.
It was my passion that was driving, that I wanted to learn it, master it, and go show all all the men out there that I'm not here just for glamour, or I'm doing a fashion show here. I'm here to play good music. I have learned it, and there are multiple controllers out there. There are a lot of easier way to DJ. There are an ideal way where you have to really learn proper beat matching, and there's a club gear which is different to what you play on laptops. And I wanted to master the club gear. That fascinated me, so I learned that. And yeah, I did a lot of tours for international DJs, bringing them. And I had events like 1,000 people rocking up to the events in universities. And yeah, I've had such a great time. Like, I just love when I'm playing. I'm a different personality, and IT world, I'm a different personality. Yeah, and in real estate, I'm a different personality.
Oh, I love it. How different are you? Okay, so I'm sitting here looking at you right now, and you just look like a beautiful, glamorous, intelligent woman. What I love though is this is how you're coming across and very professional, but yet by night you're a DJ doing all the mixing and everything. So what, and you said that, different identity as the DJ compared to, say, the IT person. How different are they? Tell me how differently you show up to each of these.
Yeah, so when I'm a DJ, I don't have my glasses on, firstly. I take off my glasses. I'm more in my, sexy, hot dresses.
Not appropriate for the office, right?
I can't wear. So yeah, if you see my Facebook profile, it's a lot of Insta, it's all, and if you see my LinkedIn profile, it's purely professional. You can make out and you wouldn't believe. Yeah, so but obviously for DJing, the crowd is different, the audience is different. You have to make them vibe to your music, make them dance. You have to engage the crowd. You have to be interactive, play what they love. You have to read the crowd and you have to transition and it has to be seamless, right? So it's a completely different you know gig altogether. While I'm in IT, if I'm working in a project, then obviously it's all about your management skills. I mean, management skills are there in event as well, but this is obviously it's more professional, and you have a lot more responsibility. You have a team, so you had a role model. You have to do what you're preaching there, basically. So it's a completely different world in IT, where I have to deliver projects. They are critical projects. I work in finance industry, so obviously, yeah, there's no room for any fuck ups there. So I have to be really diligent and make sure I'm doing the right job and getting success for my team and my company.
Oh, I love that. So why? You've got a full-time job in IT, I'm assuming, when you start this events business around DJing. Why did you start a business though? Why didn't you just DJ?
Because I wanted to bring international DJs, and I wanted my own baby. Like Sasha Club is my company name. And I didn't enjoy other promoters that much, because then yeah, so I just wanted to do my own events, bring the bring artists that are popular, and I wanted to bring them here for Australian crowd. And I follow a lot of artists, and I love to get that opportunity to play with them as well, learn with them as well. So when I brought those artists, I learned as well a lot from them. They taught me really cool tricks which I wouldn't have been if I didn't bring them. So I built relationships with a lot of DJs overseas that help me in the journey. It helps you make your mark in the industry as well if you have your own brand. And yeah, I was really passionate about DJing and hosting my own events and creating my own audience, the type of music I want to bring in. So I was able to do all of that myself.
Oh, I love that though. Creating, being able to connect with what you do in your art, I think is so important. And what I'm hearing here is that the only way that you could do that the way you wanted was to do it your way with your own business. Had you run a business before? I know you've worked in IT and I'm assuming that's in the corporate world. Had you run a business before?
No, never. That was my first to, as I said, I always love challenges.
Okay.
And I'm not scared to do something new, something unpredictable, or I love to jump in unknown territory and just give it a shot and see where it takes me. So yeah, I created my own company and I learned along the journey, right? You don't have to know, it has to be the start. So yeah, that was my first time when I started running my own company as a business and making profits. That's a byproduct, but I was doing purely for my passion.
But that's beautiful in itself, that because this is actually, I have conversations like this with women all the time where they've got an idea of something they want or they want to start a business. I've spoken to so many over the years and they're still talking about it, Varsha.
Yeah.
They've not done anything. And the big part of that is because they're scared, they've never done it before, they don't have the experience or the
Yeah.
skills, and what if it doesn't work and what if it fails and all these what ifs, etc., etc. You
Yeah.
just jumped in. You didn't know any of this. Were you scared at all, or did you not even think about it? Did you were just chasing your dream, and this was one of the components of the dream, so you just did it? Like, do you ever remember thinking, "What am I doing?" Or it just never occurred to you? Just you did it.
Yeah, I think that's my probably a personality trait that yeah, I don't get scared of doing new things. And
Mm,
I didn't think I'm not an overthinker. I'm actually a high risk taker. So not everyone is, even in properties, which we'll talk about, but
mm,
even in this, it's because I want to do it. It's my passion.
mm,
I had a vision to
mm,
launch my own brand, do international shows, do the tours in Australia. So that was my vision, and I didn't care. I had an IT job to back me up. So that was, a bit of positive. Maybe not everyone is lucky. So
mm.
I had something to back me up and I could take risk and follow my passion. But no, I wasn't scared at all. And I'm glad I did it and made so many connections, met beautiful people, had a great network. And yeah, I mean, I'll tell you one quick story, Kim. Like 10 years ago, it was my birthday, and I did a function for my birthday party. And that was the first time, like, I hired a DJ for my own party, like, a normal, yeah, just hired a bunch of friends, and I hired a DJ. And I didn't know that I wanted to be a DJ then.
Mhm.
So it was a great party, all good. And then down the line, I myself started DJing. I learned and I went into clubs, etc. And a couple of years ago, I was playing at a very good nightclub, and there was an artist, international artist, playing there. So I was already quite experienced with club events. And then I saw another DJ walked into the room, and he said to me, "Sorry, could you help me? It's my first time I'm playing at a nightclub, and I don't know." And then he later told me, I forgot. He told me, "I'm the same person you hired me for DJing at your birthday." And I was like, wow. And I remember I reached out to him to teach me DJing, but I think he was busy, whatever. But I was so happy and proud that, I learned and I was doing good, and it was really fulfilling.
Oh, wow, so it came sort of full circle, and he was playing at your party, you wanted to learn from him, he never got back to you, whatever, and then 10 years later, or however many years later,
Yeah.
he asks you for help at a
Yeah.
nightclub around the DJ. Oh, how gorgeous.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
This
beautiful.
was
Oh, beautiful. Talk to me about risk taking. Why do you say you're a high risk taker? Because I'm assuming it's not just in this space. Have you always been a high risk taker, or not an overthinker? Has that been characteristic of you throughout your life?
I think recently, like, yeah, since I started doing business, probably that has made me to take more risk now. I'm not scared of anything. So I love to follow my passion. So recently, after my divorce, Kim, I was shattered, as I said, and I wanted to grow. I wanted to transform my financial future. I was looking to generate more wealth for myself and my son. So I started looking for people who help you with buying properties, investments, buyers agents. I researched everyone in the market, and then I actually found the company I'm actually working with, Investor Partner Group, and I joined them, and I started working with them on the side in real estate. And I'm blessed that I have a great property mentor, that I learned so much, and I bought 4 properties in 4 months this year, because I was determined that I'm not going to waste a single minute, and I want to build a property portfolio which is sustainable, scalable, without compromising my lifestyle. And it was so challenging, Kim, like it was daunting buying an investment property. There's a lot of admin work, and it comes with risk as well. You have to do all the due diligence. You have to talk to real estate agents, broker, convincer, building investors. So it's overwhelming. On top of my IT job, my son, and my events, I was determined that I have to build my property portfolio. And again, I am a high risk taker. People told me just get your own home and don't take risk. But I wanted to build a portfolio that will give me growth, and it will have a compounding effect. If you buy multiple properties, you can generate and accelerate your growth as compared to just buying one property and sitting on it. Bank owes your property, right? So again, I am a high risk taker. Not everyone will end up buying uh, 4 properties in 4 months, but yeah, I was determined and I was lucky to have right support, my property mentor, and the network, the knowledge I gained by working in real estate.
Mm. Why, can I ask, why property? Why real estate? Because there's other ways that you can make passive income. Why property?
Again, I think I developed a passion and interest in properties as well. And I wanted to learn real estate and properties. Everyone I spoke to or I was following on social media, they were all talking about, how you could retire early by, creating your own portfolio. You buy multiple properties and, you sell few and you retain few and you are having a passive income, right? So that was my motive to get into real estate. Plus there's heaps of money you make in real estate, right? Like I work in IT and on the side I work in real estate to improve my lifestyle. I generate additional income. I don't have to go out. I do Zoom calls, I talk to the clients, and I make additional income. So I'm not a seller's agent that I have to go and get out and show people houses. There are a lot of opportunities in real estate. You could be a broker, you could be in construction, you could be in sales. But yeah, I wanted to learn because this became my new passion. I wanted to master real estate, so that would help me in my own property investment journey as well.
And I'm assuming if it's anything like your DJing background, when you get your mind set on something, you go all in,
Yeah.
like all in. It's like no stopping you,
Yes.
and you're learning, learning, learning. So your journey in property is only reasonably recent.
Mm.
You've also founded Real Estate for Women.
Yes.
So, given you're on the early stages of your own journey anyway, where did that come about? Again, people think about these things, but you're doing them, you're taking action, you're not just talking about it. Can you share a bit about that? Because it's fascinating.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Kim. And again, so lucky and grateful that I'm able to share this on this platform. So thanks to you. Um, so with my own investment journey, Kim, this year as a single mom, as I said, acquiring 4 properties, it's daunting. And
Yeah.
I realized it's overwhelming for single moms, especially because they have to wear multiple hats. They have to be a mom. They have so many responsibilities at home, right?
Mm.
So that journey gave me this insight, and I'm proud that I pitched this idea to my property mentor that I want to do something for women, single moms, women, so they could work in real estate, make additional income, and we could also help them build a sustainable, scalable property portfolio, because that's how you generate wealth, right? Something is working for you, you can continue to do what you are and then get this passive income to replace whatever you are doing, and you could do what you love to do. So that's what I'm trying to build, my portfolio, replace my IT so I can do what I love to do. So that my own journey came was the trigger that I wanted to create a platform where women can feel safe and they can get support of women community, because this platform is all about empowering women, inspiring them to dream big and take action. It's all about taking the first step, right? We
Always.
just get stuck there. And
Yeah.
so that's the whole goal. I want to empower women. There is a gender gap, wealth gap, right, in
Mm.
real
Mm.
estate. in my next event in Melbourne came, I'm getting Hasia Atherton. She is the Women Trades and Ambassador, and her own mission is to increase women representation from 3% to 30% in construction. So,
Mm.
so that's what I want to do as well. I want to bridge that gap and get women to take over and dominate real estate and make so much money.
And again, it's, going back to what you said earlier, it's an area where you didn't have this knowledge. You've gone and gained the knowledge. Now you're turning it into something. I
Yeah.
know you did the summit in Sydney, you're doing it in Melbourne.
Yeah.
So you're not just doing it and telling other people and sharing it. You've created an event around it. And I
Yes.
guess now I'm starting to join the dots. You've already got a business that does events, so you fundamentally understand events and how to put the bums on seats, get people's interest and get them. It just so happens, instead of all around DJing and getting people up to dance and move their bodies, this is all about getting the knowledge to help women create a passive income so that they can then really do the sort of things that light them up as a woman.
Yeah, and it's so fulfilling, Kim. Like out of my
Mm.
last event, we hired several women and they're already working in real estate and they're making additional income. So this gives me so much satisfaction and validation that yes, this was important. This platform was important because we are making an impact. And that's why, again, I am I mean, Melbourne is not my homeland, right? Sydney is, and it was a full house, sold out event. I am taking next step to come to Melbourne and doing an event. So yeah, fingers crossed. Looking forward to it.
But again, you're just doing it. This is what's so beautiful about your story, Varsha, is that you're doing it and you're reaching out to people and you're asking for help. You're doing the things that others are crippled by or that stops them in their way. You're just doing, and it's not like you've got nothing to do. Okay. It sounds like you've got a pretty full plate as it is, but you're still doing this. And what I'm really hearing so loud and clear is just your determination and that pursuit of following your dreams. No matter what, you can learn it. You can learn all this stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, assuming your income from real estate not only just replaces your IT salary, but well and truly quadruples it over and over and over again. Are you staying in IT?
If I can replace my IT income
10 times it's been
10
replaced.
times, no, I wouldn't. Unfortunately, I hope my IT team, they're not listening.
But even if they are, they appreciate this
I
doesn't
mean,
happen
yeah,
overnight.
I love to do IT. It's not that, I love
No,
what
no.
I do. Whatever I take, I want to finish it and I want to finish it well. So
Yeah.
if I'm doing it now, putting my full heart and soul in it. I'm doing that.
Mm.
But given a chance, I would love to do full-time events, DJing and real estate, because that is where I'm actually connecting to the people and I can see I'm making an impact. Like there is a direct connection with real estate women. It's amazing to talk to women, understand their challenges and struggles, and able to make that difference in their lives. So that's more fulfilling than IT job. Like what do
Yeah.
I do?
But it's so interesting, even just watching your body language and feeling the change in your energy when you were talking about, creating events. Like it really did quite obviously shift. And a lot of people are in that boat where they've got a full-time job and they love it. There's not a
Mm.
problem with it. But it's not the fire that's in their belly that lights them from within. And you're chasing that. And one day if that becomes something that you do more full-time without the job, fine, but so many don't do that. And that's why this story and you sharing your journey is so valuable, because it really, I'm sure there's someone listening in going, huh, so if she can do it, why can't I? Like seriously. And that's the goal. Like you said, if you can impact one person through them hearing this, then what a beautiful thing. So what scares you? So obviously some of the things that scare the rest of the population don't scare you. What does scare you?
What scares me?
Mm.
Snakes.
Snakes. Okay, what about more on a human level? Forget about snakes. No snakes on the planet in this hypothetical. What else scares you?
What else scares me? on human level.
Yeah. So not about snakes or spiders.
Yeah. I'm scared of public speaking, Kim.
Says she as she's recording a podcast episode. Why are you scared of public speaking? What scares you about it?
Um, I don't know. Maybe I don't know what is. Sometimes I'm not an impromptu speaker like yourself. Like you can be creative and you can make story. I suck at it. Like I'm very direct and I will just say 2 words, 3 words. If I don't know a topic, I cannot create a story. I don't read books, which is horrible. And I tell my son to do, he won't do either. I can't complain. So yeah, I think it's just that I'm naturally not creative, and I just maybe lack words. If I go on the stage, and it just gives me a bit of fear. If I know something, like if I'm in my IT job and I'm doing a presentation, I know it's my project. I know end to end. I
Yeah.
can talk about it. But if I'm going on the stage, and I think sometimes my eyes also do some, stupidity and
But this is so interesting for me sitting on this side of the fence, okay? If I can just share. You go out, you leave a relationship that's no longer allowing you to be who you are fully and pursue your own dreams. You, while you're working full time, desire learning about DJing. You go and learn, and then you set up an events company to bring international DJs from all around the world. You then want to learn how to create a passive income, build your own wealth. So you go and learn all about property, invest in 4 property portfolios yourself, and now run events teaching women, but yet you're scared of public speaking. And interestingly, a couple of things that you've said is, firstly, I only can be impromptu and speak like this when it's something I love, right? If you had to ask me to talk about something I've got no knowledge around DJing. If you put me on the stage to talk about DJing, I reckon I would crumble up into 1,000 pieces.
no, I mean, I joined Toastmasters. You would have heard
Yeah,
Toastmasters, right? And they will have all that strategy.
yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't that great, and I was still thinking, okay, I have to make this. So I'm not a good speaker. Kim, trust
Oh
me.
my God. Okay, so you need to flip that language, right? To I'm learning how to be more confident sharing stories. And you said you're not creative. Oh my goodness. You can be one of the most creative
Words,
humans I've
words.
spoken to.
With words, I'm not creative. With mixing music, I'm very creative.
Oh, I think you're very creative with words, Varsha. I think you're very creative, and I think you're underselling yourself by using that label that you're not good, because you actually are really good. You're putting on events to help women earn money in real estate. But isn't it funny? And this is what I love about courage is where you've say got a fear, and I'm sure everyone else listening in going, are you kidding? She's amazing. She is creative. She's got a beautiful way with words. She's confident. You're just here on a podcast, which is a public platform, and you're doing all of this. But yet you can go out and do all these other things and not have a fear. Like I think courage just shows up
Mm.
in our lives in so many different ways that I'm just finding this really, really interesting. So, what do you need to do you think, to get past this fear? Because obviously,
Mm.
to build a movement, which it sounds like you're doing, you're doing a heap more public speaking.
Sorry, say that again. Kim,
So, what do you need to do you think, to get past this?
yeah, so I am gonna launch these events and I will be speaking at all my events. So I'm gonna be polished and I'll be pro soon. Kim.
Yeah, you don't need to be polished. You just need to be real.
Yeah, raw. So, the real estate for women, we
Yeah.
call it raw. So R4W, but we call it raw. So, it's for women who are raw, unfiltered. Bring yourself and, inspire and elevate your journey.
And do you know the beautiful part about being raw? That does not mean polished, and it does not mean perfect.
Yeah.
It means raw. It means real. It means
Yeah.
show up as yourself. The only time you've got to be polished if you're doing public speaking is, seriously, if you're a newsreader or,
Mm.
in the media. They want polish. They don't want any foibles or stuff ups or whatever. But in the rest of the world, showing up and being real, that's actually, and this is what I'm, learning as I'm getting to know you, that's your superpower.
Yeah.
Like,
And Kim, DJing events are very different to real estate events.
very.
It's different. So I've got two companies, so they're separate. So it was easier to run DJing events compared to real estate events. They're different. I know it helped me naturally, but still there's a bit of challenge to host real estate events, and you have to make yourself credible first.
Mm.
um I mean, same with DJing as well. Yes, I had to learn, I had to prove that I'm a good DJ. That's when people started coming to my events. And you have to do same. It's just the audience is different, and that's entertainment. This is more professional. You're changing future, financial future. So yeah, there is no scope of doing anything wrong here.
Mm.
You have to be very, very careful. You're playing with people's future here. Yeah, not music.
Yeah, I totally appreciate the difference. Yeah. And the other thing that I'm also feeling too is that with DJing, you can hide behind it, so to speak.
Mm,
Whereas this is, you've got to show up as you. And this is where your own internal value is so important.
exactly.
And I see this all the time where people suddenly, they've gone from very, very successful corporate careers
Mm.
as an employee. Suddenly they're running their own business. And what hits them is that it's them. They are their brand. They're the ones standing up. And what happens is the whole business becomes a whole journey of
Yeah.
personal development.
Yeah, like events, I don't need to do public speaking, right? It's my music that talks.
Yeah.
And here, I have to be the face.
Yeah.
I have to be here with you, Kim, because
Yeah.
I have to be out there now, and I have to work for my new business. So you have to take steps, and you have to be out of your comfort zone, which right now I am. And this is my first podcast, and I'm sure I'll be doing many more.
Oh, I think this is the first of many. I'm just grateful that we've been able to christen you on this podcast as your very first. So this, I mean, this almost sounds like a silly question because I feel like we've answered it, but maybe we haven't. What's the next thing you've got to really reach in and find some courage for?
Yeah, so I think the next thing that is taking a lot of courage is to come to Melbourne, Kim. As I said, Melbourne is not my home ground, and after a huge success at Sydney event, which validated that yep, we this platform, it should scale up, it should empower more women. So I am coming to Melbourne to do my next event, which is happening on 12th of October at Radisson. And the structure of the event is like I've got a keynote speaker, I've got a panel discussion with industry specialists like property mentor, female broker, female accountant, real estate agent. We will have a good in-depth discussion that would empower and inspire women audience if they want to start career in real estate, or if they are looking to build a property portfolio. They will get all the tips, insights, how to get started. Plus it's all about building a community and network. So that event, those are the objectives. I really want women to get out of their comfort zone and take that first step. It is so important, so very important for them. They just keep thinking, but they don't act. So
Mm.
by even coming to this event, they will gonna meet and mingle with female industry specialists who will be inspiring them with their own personal journey, how they have done navigated. There are a lot of success stories coming to inspire them. So that is something I'm doing out of my comfort zone again, to come to another city and try it out. And hopefully, yeah, it's going to be good.
It's going to be great. And I can't wait to be there and be a part of it. And you know, it's funny, I spoke at an event just last week. It was a badass business networking event for women. And I spoke about money. And I spoke about the mindset around money. And, you know, one of the questions I often ask, I've got 30 years in financial services, but one of the questions I asked everyone in the room is, who here thinks they're bad at managing money? And more than half the room put their hands up.
Yeah,
And I said, and who here are the same people that also said that they were bad at maths at school?
yeah,
And all these women put their hand up. Anyway, later
yeah,
after the event, so many of them came up to me saying, you know, I need more confidence around money. I need more knowledge so that I
yeah,
have the confidence to go and do the
yeah,
thing that's going to bring me more money. So any events
Yeah.
where, yes, you're talking about real estate, but at the end of the day, this is getting deeper. This is going into the psychology around, women and money and feeling deserving and worthy of it. So as a platform to do this, I'm such an advocate and a supporter. And yeah, and come on, Melbourne, women, Melbourne, come to the event. I will put the details in the show notes, Varsha, for people that want to get tickets and come along. But in the meantime, if people just want to sort of follow your journey, where's the best place for them to find out more about you?
Yeah, so I'm on socials. Again, my DJing socials are different, but they could follow me on Insta, which is Real Estate for Women. We
Yes.
are on Insta, Facebook, and LinkedIn, Real Estate for Women. If they follow my DJing, then it's DJ Sasha, Sydney official. So you could follow me on Instagram there. But yeah, thank you so
Awesome.
much, Kim. Like, it's really elevating for me to be here and doing my first podcast with you. I feel so blessed that I had this opportunity to, let my fears out today, get out of my comfort zone, do my first podcast. And I'm really happy. And I would love to do more podcast on my platform and bring more, industry female leaders on the forum. And so I could help the women audience to get inspired and get all the insights.
And all I can say is watch out. You've got another thing in your sights. So, Varsha, I know that it will happen because you do seem like someone that takes action. Yeah, you might have to reach in and find some courage to do it, but I don't think that stopped you before, and I don't think it's going to stop you again. So just for those, I invite people onto the podcast, and there's many who say, oh, I don't have a story to tell, or I don't feel comfortable. Just give me, like, in summary, it's your first experience at it. How are you feeling?
Uh,
That's okay.
yeah, so yeah, I thought I had a bit of story because my whole life journey, like separation and events and property. So I thought I do have bit of story, but I don't know if it could mean different to different people. So it might inspire some women in some way. But yeah, I was nervous. I was very, very nervous to come here and share my story. And I never thought, I didn't think that, you asked me about the personal experience and the courage in personal. So in my childhood, so I ended up sharing about my eyes, which again, I didn't plan to, but I thought I'm at that stage. I think, yeah, I can share at any platform. I think, yeah, if it inspire people, because I know a lot of women suffer. A lot of people have got some or other thing that makes them limited, constrained. So it's not about that. It's, you will fall multiple times. It's all about getting up and being persistent and just following what you're doing. And it's all about that. It's, courage means different things. You, even in small moments, you could take courageous decisions.
So true. So true. So, as your first time, thank you so much for joining me. Anyone who wants to know more about real estate for women and follow this, it's definitely going to be a movement about empowering women to become financially stable and free. Then Varsha is your woman. Varsha, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You are one courageous woman.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much, Kim. Thank you.